We are all familiar with it. It has many uses and it makes our lives sweeter. It is white sugar. The production of sugar from beet is a long and complicated process that starts long before the beet is processed by the sugar factories. Every step of the way is important in order to achieve good results. The beet grower is an important part of the process, making use of knowledge and experience gained through many generations of beet growing. But the story really begins with the production of the small but technically sophisticated sugar beet seed, whose properties and qualities are vital to the efficiency of the sugar industry. We always pay special attention to achieving the optimum quality beet seed. Our breeders, multiplication technicians, seed technologists and production people all work closely together as a team so that we achieve the best quality seed at all stages, from the breeding work to the multiplication in Southern Europe and the seed processing in our own factory. Our breeding facility and factory are located in the southeastern part of Denmark, in attractive rural surroundings. Every year, new breeding work is carried out using thousands of isolation tents and cabins. Here, the parent lines are grown, plants that are specially selected by the breeders for having the most desirable characteristics for the new generations of sugar beet seed. The most important parameters we select for are sugar yield, disease resistance, low soil tear, and resistance to bolting. All of today's sugar beet varieties are hybrids. This means that the seed drilled by the grower has been harvested from pollen-sterile mother plants that have been fertilized by pollen-producing father plants. We constantly focus on the growth and development of the mother seed plant, as this can greatly influence the quality of the seed we harvest from it. The genetic makeup and the health of the seed plant are crucial for the development of the sugar beet seed, its shape, size and weight, but also its vigor. So we constantly check the seed yield, seed vigor, seed size and uniformity of maturity. All the parameters influencing seed quality are carefully recorded, and the overall result determines whether a mother plant will be selected for the production of future generations of sugar beet varieties. Seed obtained from the new crosses is tested in trial fields, and the results are compared against existing commercial varieties. The development of the new plants in the field is monitored and recorded. Once the roots have been harvested, we then measure the soil tear. The roots are washed and notes are made on their shape and the size of the root groove, and the clean weights are recorded. Finally, we analyze the sugar content and juice quality in the laboratory. After 10 to 15 years of testing several thousand crosses in a huge number of trials, only the most promising candidates remain. These are then tested in yield trials in several countries, and finally, the very best are ready for multiplication and production on a large scale. We multiply most of our Mongerm seed in the Po Valley near Bologna in northern Italy. The mild climate and good soil give excellent conditions for harvesting the best quality seed. The multiplication of sugar beet is unlike any other agricultural crop and takes about 12 months. The basic seed is sown in August and develops into seedlings. By February, these are ready for transplantation into the propagation fields. Here they are allowed to bolt and will start to flower in late May. Flowering continues until mid-June. During the next month, the seed will develop and grow. Once a week, our experienced field technicians inspect all the propagation fields and advise the farmers on every aspect of caring for the seed crop.
Our efforts to produce the best possible seed quality begin with the sowing of the basic seed. It is important that the seedlings are the right size, about 3 to 5 centimeters in diameter, when it is time to transplant them into the propagation fields. Here in Italy, we transplant at the beginning of February. Early transplantation of uniform seedlings ensures uniform flowering and, later on, uniform seed maturation. This is vitally important for the final seed quality.
Approximately 1 month after flowering, the seed is almost mature. New techniques allow us to measure the seed maturity and choose the right time for cutting. Some 4 days after cutting, the seed is mature and ready for harvest. Choosing the right moment to harvest is crucial to the seed quality. Harvest too early and the result is poorer seed quality and slower germination. On the other hand, a late harvest will reduce seed yield due to shedding of the seed. After harvest, thousands of tons of seed are transported to our factory in Denmark each year. Here, the seed is transformed into the familiar pellets, having special properties and qualities. But first, we carefully analyze each and every grower lot.
In order to produce high-quality seed, it is important to have detailed information about each grower lot, as the seed quality can vary greatly from crop to crop. So we do some extra analyses at this stage to ensure that each grower lot gets exactly the right treatment.
When we know the quality of each grower lot, we can start to clean it, polish it, and calibrate it. The polishing removes any surplus cork from the outer surface and the agents that inhibit germination. The secret is to remove as much cork as possible without damaging the seed. This is very delicate work, and a good outcome depends on the skill and experience of our technicians and their knowledge of the raw material.
Here in the polishing plant, we can remove any excess cork from the seed. This leaves us with a more uniform material that is easier to calibrate, enabling us to produce a high-quality end product.
We then use various methods to calibrate the seed. We select the most mature, healthy seed and discard the immature, empty or damaged seed. Once calibrated, the seed is pelleted. Pelleting makes the seed rounder and more uniform, so it is the right size and shape for the farmer's sowing machine. But there is more to the pellet than what the eye can see. Our innovative pelleting process turns the seed into a technically advanced multi-layer pellet with unique properties. This new type of pellet consists of several layers, each having a different function. The outer layer ensures that after sowing, the pellet will take up and retain the correct amount of water required to initiate germination. The inner layer ensures that this water is released to the pellet at the optimum rate. In other words, the multi-layer pellet ensures optimum germination under both wet and dry conditions in the field. After pelleting, we apply plant protection products to the pellet and then coat it with a protective green film. The characteristic green Maribo color makes it easier for the grower to locate the seed in the soil and check the sowing depth. We constantly check that the correct amount of plant protection products have been evenly applied to the individual pellets. Underdosing would not provide adequate protection from pests, whereas overdosing could reduce the speed of germination. The quality of the seed is checked in several ways during the entire process. Germination ability and vigor are checked after every step, and we carry out a series of different quality tests, checking, for example, resistance to bolting, the size, strength and roundness of the pellet, and the moisture content of the seed. Ultimately, only 10 to 20% of the seed originally harvested will pass our stringent testing procedures and reach the farmer. Finally, the Danish authorities certify the seed in accordance with international quality standards. At last, the seed can be packed and dispatched to our customers. Research and development is vitally important. Our scientists and development teams are constantly working on new ways to improve the properties and quality of the seed at all stages in the production process. Based on our long-standing expertise in seed production and our knowledge of the factors that influence the quality of seed, we have recently launched a new concept called Maribo Seed Plus. Seed Plus combines all our new methods for optimizing seed quality during multiplication, selection and processing. The final result is seed with a very high quality and vigor, giving the grower the benefit of fast, reliable and very uniform germination. Before we introduce such an improvement to the market, we perform many tests.
Lige nu står vi i vores udbytteforsøg.
We are standing in our extensive trial field. All the tests we do out here are designed to reflect the work we've been doing in our laboratories and greenhouses during the year. Everything is tested here in our yield trials. Whenever we develop a new way of pelleting, coating or seed processing, it is thoroughly tested. Not just in germination trials, but here in the yield trials, as this is the test that ultimately measures the benefit to the farmer.
When our sugar beet seed has passed all the quality tests, it is ready to be drilled by farmers all over the world. It is inevitable that the varieties cultivated in Scandinavia in the north must have different characteristics to the varieties used in northern Africa or the Middle East. So we have over 100 Maribo sugar beet varieties, all developed to suit different climates and local growing conditions. In northern Africa, the harvest is just about to begin, yet the farmers in most European countries are about to start sowing. Under these skies, beet harvesting is still hard physical labor. Furthermore, they are hugely dependent on irrigation and have to transport water to the fields from rivers, reservoirs or wells. Once the first team of laborers have loosened the beet, another team pulls up the beet and tops them. Finally, the beet are thrown onto trucks or wagons to be delivered to the sugar factory. Back in the northern latitudes, harvesting is also the last step in getting the beet from the growers to the processor. We work very closely with the sugar industry and have a good understanding of the needs of the industry. In fact, our company was founded back in 1920 by the Danish sugar factories to safeguard their supply of seed and improve sugar yields. Since then, we have developed a diverse range of sugar beet types under the Maribo name. We have both mon-germ and multi-germ varieties, as well as varieties particularly suited to bioethanol production. In addition, we also develop new varieties of fodder beet and protein peas. We are an international company with a network of subsidiaries, sales offices, distributors and agents in around 40 countries. This extensive network enables us to understand and meet the needs of beet growers and the sugar producers throughout the world. Our pioneering work into clean beet is a good example of our close cooperation with the sugar factories.
It is important that there is no soil sticking to the beet that comes into the factory, because this reduces the factory's efficiency. This beet has been through the beet washers, but there is still soil on it. This is why we are so interested in beet with a reduced root groove. These types can be washed clean, and there will be no soil in the factory and no soil in the pulp that we sell as a byproduct for animal feed.
At the end of the conveyor belt, the clean beet enter the factory where they will be sliced, boiled and processed, and turned into the white sugar that sweetens our lives every day.